filming here.
What's that?
You cannot be filming here.
Why?
There's too many private people.
Why?
Sir, not tell him I told you this. The guy that just pulled up in the 458, the red Ferrari, you should go talk to him.
But you cannot be filming him here.
He's a billionaire.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, is this your Ferrari? Yeah. How did you get rich, man? What'd you do to get a Ferrari?
I know you do.
What's your name?
Scooter Braun.
And what was the most amount of money you made in a single year?
I sold my company years ago. You want to know how much? I've seen you do this before.
Yeah.
You like
How much did you sell your company?
I sold the company for over $1 billion.
What was the exact exit price?
1.2.
1.5 billion pounds. Not those cheap dollars, pounds.
The pounds, my bad. Kobe Bryant was part of Body Armor, right?
Yeah.
So how much did you have to pay Kobe Bryant?
Nothing. He paid me.
What do you mean?
He invested $6 million to start in the company.
What did that turn into?
$450 million.
Are you serious? Have you ever been broke before?
Oh my God, dude. I literally had to borrow, when I was married to my wife with 4 kids, had to borrow $200 from my mom, was $13 million in debt, had no money, and paid it all back.
No, you did not.
Yeah.
You made billions of dollars throughout your career. Are you happy now?
Huh.
Oh, wow. You ask good questions.
I don't think that's how life works.
I've interviewed over 40 billionaires, and I've asked every single one of them how they truly got rich and how they built their billion-dollar companies. But there's one question that I've never asked them until now. Are they actually happy? So over the next few days, I'll be in 2 of the wealthiest hubs in America, Beverly Hills and Las Vegas, to interview not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 billionaires. From tech founders to investors to people who've made billions of dollars in exits, to find out if all the sacrifice and hard work it takes to get rich is actually worth it. So let's go find out if money can actually buy happiness. Alright, you guys, so we are right now headed to go meet up with and interview our first billionaire out here in Beverly Hills, you guys. Now, who is this billionaire that we're about to meet right now? Well, he's the guy that has built some of the biggest beverage brands in the entire world. For example, you ever had one of these right here? Body Armor? Yeah, he sold Body Armor to Coca-Cola for over $5 billion. Or how about one of these? Or one of these? These are all companies that he himself has sold for hundreds of millions and billions of dollars. Okay, but today we find out if those billions of dollars actually made him happy. We're not just gonna be getting the secret to getting rich, but whether or not money actually can buy happiness. Let's go see what he has to say. How you doing, my man? This is Lance. How you doing, Lance?
Good,
Nice to meet you. Hey, we were letting them know you built everybody's favorite gas station drink.
That's it, baby.
That's the truth.
That's how we roll.
Today we're going to be figuring out the secrets to building a billion-dollar brand.
Yep.
And we're also going to be asking you if the millions and millions of dollars actually leads to happiness. That's what we're trying to figure out today.
Right?
So we're going to be talking about everything.
It ain't bad.
It ain't bad.
Right?
Definitely not. That's it right there.
He's a good-looking kid.
How old are you today? How old are you?
68.
68 years old.
Yeah.
So you're a 68-year-old billionaire and you're still building companies.
And I'm still going at it, and I love what I do. It keeps me young.
How much do you work? How many hours a day do you work?
I don't work. I was working all day before you came here. I'm a young 68. Most people think I'm 50. I'm in shape. I swim every day for an hour and a half at the pool.
Money stays in shape.
Money stays in shape. And that's what I do. I love what I do. And what else am I going to do? Lay on a beach? I'm not that great at golf. I got the team, I got my family, I got over 500 employees, and they're all driven with one goal: to win.
What was the most amount of money that you made in a single day?
In a single day?
Yeah.
When I sold Body Armor in October of 2021,
How much did you make?
a lot.
Give me a range. How much?
$500 million.
$500 million.
Yeah.
And how about for the company?
We made $5 billion.
$5 billion
Yeah,
for the B.
yeah.
You made billions of dollars throughout your career. Are you happy now?
Huh. Yeah, I'm ecstatic.
You are.
Yeah, I'm more ecstatic that you're here.
Why are a lot of billionaires miserable though? Because you hear people talk about all the time how they're not happy.
Because money's not the answer to all. I have a great life. I have a great family. My wife, my son, my daughter, and we're very close. We're all involved in some fashion in the businesses. Everyone has great houses. Everybody lives in great places. We're good. My senior executives have great lives. They all made a lot of money, and they want to keep doing it.
So you take care of your people.
Yes.
You have to.
Yeah, got to. Everyone has skin in the game. Even my assistants, they made $1 million. People working in the warehouse.
You made sure everybody ate when you sold your company.
Exactly. We share the prize.
Do you think a lot of people forget about that and they don't take care of their people?
Some people do, yeah.
I'm going to challenge you. As a billionaire, what is the best piece of advice that you've ever received throughout your career?
I would say surround yourself with good people. Make sure the first one works and make sure you leverage all those guys that made money in your first deal. They go in your second deal. Then they go in your third deal. And then it keeps going. Honestly, I can raise $100 million in one day if I start another company.
Because you know all the right people.
I know all the right people. I've been blessed.
We talked about how you and all the billionaires that you know, what is that one trait they all have in common?
They're killers. They want to win. They want to disrupt. And they work their asses off. Like Kobe.
Mamba mentality.
Dude, he works out until he passes out every morning. You've never seen dedication like him.
Kobe Bryant was part of Body Armor, right?
Yeah.
So how much did you have to pay Kobe Bryant?
Nothing. He paid me.
What do you mean?
He wanted to get in the company. He loved the product. He invested $6 million to start in the company.
He invested $6 million in your company?
Yes.
What did that turn into?
$450 million.
Are you serious?
Well, he also got talent marketing shares on top of that because he was the director of sports marketing. When Kobe Bryant calls the athletes to come for a commercial, they all show up. Harden came into Body Armor because of Kobe.
Give me the deepest life quote you've ever heard.
From Vince Lombardi, my father used to say this, it's not the big that eat the small. It's the fast that eat the slow. That's my famous quote in beverage.
So speed is important in business.
Dude, if you sit on your hands, the competition just runs you over.
68 today. If me and you died tomorrow and you had one more message to leave with the younger generation, what would that be?
Do what you love, because you won't have a job.
You got amazing advice, sir. Thank you for your time, my friend. And I connect with all the billionaires I interview. Could I get your contact?
Yeah, of course.
Look, you guys, that's a happy billionaire right there. Okay, look, he said that money cannot be the only thing to make you happy. But look, he made a lot of other people rich, right? He had the people that were custodians making money, man, the janitors, I think he said, man. So it just goes to show the more money you make other people, the more money you're gonna make and the happier you're gonna be. Great interview out here in Beverly Hills. We gotta go find this next billionaire out here, you guys, how they got rich, whether or not that money buys happiness. Come on. All right, you guys, so we are right now headed to go meet up with our next billionaire. But this billionaire is not from the United States. He's not from America. No. He's from the UK. And he created and built the largest phone retailer in all of the United Kingdom. One of the biggest ones in Europe, I believe. He sold his company back in 2006 for $1.6 billion. And according to Forbes, he's worth over $3 billion worth of bees. So we're about to link up with another billionaire to figure out if the sacrifice and what it took to become a billionaire was really worth it. Let's go see what he says. What's going on, guys? How you doing? John, how you doing, my friend? I'm James. Great to meet you, my friend. Thanks for coming out to do an interview, man. I really appreciate that, man. John, I have one rule for all my interviews. There's no holding back at all. We're gonna give the younger generation the blueprint on how to really become successful and make it in today's world like you did. Can we make that happen?
We can try.
What was your main business for the people that don't know?
Right, so for the people that don't know, and of course they won't know because all my business was UK-centric and European-centric, and that was mobile phones. And it was every aspect of mobile phones right the way through from service provision, retailing, distribution, wholesale. It was everything. And I built that up from 1986 to 2006, from one man right the way through to 12,000 people, and a sellout of £1.5 billion. Not those cheap dollars, those pounds.
The pounds, my
pounds.
man. My man, I appreciate that, man. But hey, they're about to get $1 billion worth of game from you right here, my man. So let's make it happen. Did you come from a lot of money? Like, were your parents rich?
Well, my dad was a travelling salesman, and my mother was a post-room manager, so I suppose you could say definitely not.
Did 20-year-old you have any idea that you were going to become a billionaire?
Oh, no. I grew up in the back streets of Stoke-on-Trent in a tiny little house. I had no money and no inspiration. There's nobody around me to inspire me at all. So no, I had no clue. I always knew I was going to be successful.
Why?
A childhood dream I had when I was 8 years old. And my dream was that I would be driving around in a chauffeur-driven Rolls Royce, handing £5 notes out to poor people. And that dream had to be fulfilled. But in fulfilling that dream, nowhere in that dream was I a billionaire. I was just successful and wealthy and charitable.
So you've made billions of dollars throughout your career. You're 73 now.
Yeah.
Are you happy today?
Happiness is a relative subject, isn't it? I'm always challenged, and I'm happy when I achieve challenges. So, for instance, on the 19th of July, I'm doing something that's impossible for me, which is the Étape de Tour, the Tour de France cycling race up in the Alps. It's an impossible challenge for me. If I achieve anywhere near that, I'll be quite happy. And life is full of happiness and full of sadness and full of issues. So, yeah, I'm overall happy, but I'm not a contented person. I'm always struggling to achieve the next thing.
And you mentioned your dad was a travel salesman. Are you a good salesman?
I don't think you're going to get to where I am without being a good salesman.
So what was your secret to sales? If you could give me one piece of sales advice that's not taught in a textbook or business
Integrity.
school. You got to keep your word.
Beyond that, when people used to ask me what are these mobile phones like, I would say they're absolutely dreadful. I said there'll be times when all you want to do is throw it on the floor and stamp on it. And they said, well, that's strange. The guy down the road who I've been to said that they're perfect. They're just like the ordinary home telephone. I said, well, that's complete rubbish. I said they're absolutely absolutely dreadful. But if you need one, what are you going to do? It's a unique piece of equipment and you're going to buy one, but expect it to be not very good. And I never lost a sale ever because the truth. And that was the truth. But I used the truth to my advantage to gain credibility with the customer. So the guy down the road that had told him it was just like using a home telephone lost all his credibility as a result of me telling them that it was rubbish.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, taxes are crazy in the UK. Do you have a tax hack for anybody in business?
I believe that you should pay your taxes in the country that you've made your money in. There's a lack of humanitarianism on this planet.
So you paid your taxes?
I paid all my taxes on the sale of the business and everything.
What's the most amount of money you paid in taxes in 1 year?
200 million.
You paid 200 million in taxes?
Yeah, and I could have avoided it.
How?
By moving to Monaco.
Why did you not do that?
Because I feel that the poor people need help.
So you did it for the goodness of other people?
Well, I didn't want to leave the UK. I support the UK. You know, I'm very patriotic. And if I take my money away from the UK, then what does society do? What happens to the country?
But would you say that most billionaires would not choose to do that and they'd be a little bit more greedy?
By and large, yes, to some extent. I don't find many people that properly agree with me. One of the favourite arguments that they give me is, well, don't pay your tax, go to Monaco and give even more to charity. But the people that say that, surprisingly, avoid the tax and don't give a lot to charity or anything. I just think we all have to work harder to make the human race better, to make the planet better.
John, if me and you died tomorrow and you had one more message to leave with the younger generation, what would that be?
To the younger generation?
One more message. Give me the best life advice you could give to them in these last 20 seconds.
Like I told my kids, really, which is, I'm not bothered about you being rich. I want you to leave the world a better place than you found it and be happy. And if on top of that you can be very successful in your career, in your money making, then that's utopia. But at least try and be happy and leave the world a better place than you found it.
Can I tell you something? I've done over 1,000 interviews. I've interviewed over 40 billionaires. This is one of the best interviews I've ever done in my life, man.
You tell everybody that.
No, I promise you I don't. You can ask them. Thank you so much for your time, man.
Pleasure.
This was incredible,
Pleasure.
man. I connect with all the billionaires I interview. Could I get your contact?
Sure.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, is this your G-Wagon?
Yeah.
How did you get rich, man? What did you do to get a G-Wagon, man?
I recognize you. I know your stuff from the internet.
What'd you do, man?
I worked in the entertainment industry for a long time and invested in entrepreneurs. You do good stuff, man. I've seen it before.
What's your name?
Scooter Braun.
Scooter Braun. And what was the most amount of money you made in a single year?
I sold my company years ago. You want to know how much? I've seen you do this before.
Yeah.
You like
How much did you sell your company?
I sold the company for over $1 billion.
Over $1 billion?
Yeah.
What was the exact exit price?
1.2.
I mean, I go all over the world interviewing billionaires. You've seen the channel before.
I have seen it. That's why I'm so uncomfortable right now, but I appreciate what you do.
Can I interview you for a minute real quick? Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
How long have you been an entrepreneur?
Since I was a kid, always trying to figure out a way to not be dependent. But I started the company when I was 19 in college.
What was that defining moment in your life where you had that mindset shift where you're like, man, I'm going to go out there, make a name for myself, and become one of the biggest in the entertainment space that has ever seen?
For me, I was really, really young when I started, so I was probably too dumb and too ignorant to know that you probably shouldn't be able to do this. I think it was that blind belief. I saw someone do an interview recently and they said that really great entrepreneurs are delusional. And I definitely was probably a little delusional. I was younger that you can go and do this. And I think nothing great ever came from realistic ideas. Only great things come from being unrealistic.
Have you ever been broke before?
Yeah, when I was first starting, everyone thought I was killing it, but really every time I'd make money, I'd spend it, to kind of fake it to make it. And I remember ordering Domino's pizza and realizing I did not have enough cash to pay. And I had like this change jar that me and my roommates had by the door, and I had to open it up and pay for Domino's with change. And I never forgot that because I always say success and failure really live next door to each other, like really live next door. And whenever you think it's gonna fall apart, that's when you gotta go that extra mile so that you find out success is right there.
What year was that you couldn't afford pizza?
Probably 23 years old. I'm 44 now, so 21 years ago.
20 years ago, would you have any idea then that you would end up selling a company for over $1 billion?
You know what's really funny? When I first started, I wanted to, do that. I wanted to achieve that $1 billion. And then I realized making 10 grand was really hard. And I went and spoke to a guy in Atlanta that I really admired, and he gave me a number of 10 million of like, that's what it would take to have his lifestyle. And that was my goal. I was like, I want 10 million. I want to have a beautiful family. I want to have kids. And, my life changed. And I remember when I passed that number, I felt like, what is it all for? It felt empty. And then my pops gave me some really good advice. He said, well, what do you love to do? And I said, I love being with my friends. I love giving away tickets. I love, talking to a random entrepreneur and helping them. I love the adventure of life. And he goes, well, I think money could be a way to make you, burdensome, and you could be tied up by it, or money could be something that sets you free to do all of those things more and more in your life.
So you are now the 44th billionaire that I've interviewed. Are you happy now?
I don't think that's how life works. I think life is ebbs and flows, and there's days where you're really, really happy, and there's days where you're sad. And everybody, whether you have $10 or $1 billion or someone who has $100 billion, everyone's having a human experience. And what I've seen from people that have a lot more money than me, who I've become friends with, they at times can feel feel very, very empty. And I think you don't need $200 billion to start the work of going inside yourself and figuring out who you are. So if you want a tip, if you want a cheat code for the end game of success, start doing work on yourself now and start seeing who you are and valuing yourself. And that's going to be a lot more important than making any amount of money.
Now, you were in the entertainment business for decades. For the people that don't know, what was your business like? What business made you the most amount of money throughout your career?
We built a record label, we built a publishing company, we built a TV and film production company. You know, for me, I never wanted to be defined by one industry. I wanted to be defined as an entrepreneur. And that to me is just living an adventure every single day.
Did you have people that doubted you in the business world?
Yeah, of course. I was a knucklehead 19-year-old kid from Atlanta, Georgia, who's coming up in the hip hop industry and throwing parties. Everyone was like, what the hell is he talking about? He's going to build this and build that.
I'm assuming you had people that thought you were crazy.
Yeah, they thought I was nuts. But every great entrepreneur I've ever met has that story. Like I said in the beginning, if it was realistic, it wouldn't be great. It has to be delusional. It has to be unrealistic. It has to be something. It's this idea that if you are playing baseball, if the Cy Young Award winner was pitching and everyone got to get in line and try and hit that ball, you could take as many swings as you want. And the winner, if you hit it out of the park, you get $1 million. It's the person who shuts everyone out, who keeps swinging, and everyone's saying you're a bum, you don't have it, who just keeps swinging until they hit that home run. The person who shuts out the noise, that's the person who becomes the great entrepreneur.
I want to shift real quick to investing. You've invested in some of the biggest companies in the world early on. Right. What's the number one thing that you look for in a business when you're making an investment into them?
I try to see if the entrepreneurs burn the ships. It's never about what the business is for me.
You said burn the ships?
Burn the ships. It's never about the business. Like everyone else wants to look at data and everything. For me personally, I just like to look at the eyes of the founder and how psychotic are they? Like how crazy are they? How driven are they? Will they burn the ships? Will they shut out the noise? And I've seen that before. I've seen it, Travis from Uber, he had that. Daniel Ek from Spotify, he had that. Like there are certain people that are so driven and determined that you look them in the eye and you're like, they're gonna find a way.
I love that, man. You got amazing advice. And I connect with all the billionaires I interview. Could I get your contact?
Yeah, of course.
Guys, we just wrapped up with the billionaire Scooter Braun, man, and he just gave so much incredible advice in that interview. But guys, I think he just gave us the secret right there. He said the money does not define happiness. He said whether you make $10,000, $100 million, $1 billion, we're all going through the human experience. Great interview out here in Los Angeles. We gotta keep this one rolling and go get this next one, you guys. Come on. All right, you guys, so look, as you can see, man, we gotta change the plans right now. We are right now about to fly out from Beverly Hills to Las Vegas to go meet up with some more billionaires, you guys. We're going from city to city, go find our next billionaire, figure out how they got rich and whether or not they're happy, you guys. Come on. Guys, we just got to our destination, Las Vegas, a millionaires and billionaires playground. And look, we got a mission. We got to find another billionaire to complete this video, to really figure out and ask them if money truly buys happiness. If after they amass that billionaire status, that $1 billion net worth, if that money buys happiness. So we're at a destination with some of the richest people coming to meet here in Las Vegas, you guys. Come on. Real quick. I had a question for you. How did you get rich, sir? There we go. Excuse me, sir. Question for you. Yes. Is this your Rolls Royce?
No, it's that gentleman.
It is. I have a channel where I interview millionaires and billionaires all over the world to get advice to the younger generation.
Hey, I know you.
Is that your Rolls Royce? Yeah. How did you get rich, man?
Bro, put me on that stupid.
Yeah? You a private guy?
Yeah.
I got you, my man. Excuse me, sir. Sir, how did you get rich?
Oh, I'm not the person to ask.
No?
No. But
All
thank
right.
you.
All right, my
But
man.
I've seen you guys on either
Yes,
TikTok
sir.
or somewhere.
What line of business are you in, sir?
Medtech.
You said medtech.
Medtech.
How did
I'm
you...
not the person to talk to.
All right,
but
my man,
that's
have a
right.
good one. Look, as you can see, man, look, these guys out here in Vegas, man, the millionaires and billionaires playground, look, they don't want to give out the game, you guys, but look, I'm not going to stop until I find another billionaire to make this video even better for you guys. Come on.
Sir, I cannot have you filming here.
What's that?
You cannot be filming
Why?
here. There's too many private people.
Not tell him I told you this. The guy that just pulled up in the 458, the red Ferrari, you should go talk to him. I'll
But
talk
you
to him.
cannot be filming him here.
He's a billionaire.
You know him?
Yeah, I know.
What's he do?
Private equity. I will go talk to him.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, is this your Ferrari?
Yeah.
How did you get rich, man? What'd you do to get a Ferrari?
I know you did.
How'd you get rich, man?
Private equity. Well, Wall Street guy, yeah.
How long were you in the money business?
36 years.
Over these 36 years, what was the most amount of money you made in a single year?
On paper, $1.6 billion maybe.
1.6 billion?
Yeah, well, I took a company public that I owned half of, and it first opened at like 3.3 billion, 3.5 billion or so.
Can I interview you for a minute? I interview billionaires all over the world to help the younger generation.
Sure, for sure. Yeah.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
I got one rule for all my interviews. There's no holding back. We're going to give them the blueprint blueprint right here on how to build a $1 million and $1 billion company today.
Sure.
So can we make that happen?
There's only 3 ways to make money. You only leverage people, you leverage time, or you leverage money, right? That's the only way to make money. You have to do one of those 3, right? Like, let's say you're a lawyer and you work for somebody else, you're selling your time, you're not gonna get rich, you'll be comfortable. You leverage people by becoming a lawyer and then starting a law firm. Now you're making money on all the people that are working for you, so you're leveraging time and money, right?
Ooh, that's game
and,
right there.
Yeah,
You know that.
right,
That's game.
and there you go.
So you can't get rich working for anybody else.
I cannot, I'm unemployable. No one will hire me.
Why?
Because I'm a lunatic. Like, who would want?
Are you crazy?
I'm crazy, yeah. And you couldn't pay me what I'd want to get paid. And then if you leverage, I'll give you an example. I think I'm meeting one of my analysts right here, Jason. He works for me. I leverage him. So Jason, what's up, brother? So here
We are at Vegas. Come on.
This is Vegas. So he is a total professional gambler, the best blackjack player ever. But when I started my hedge fund, again, 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah, about 7.
So he's a mathematical genius. I'm not. So I leverage people by hiring good people that have a different skill set and then put them to work and let them do their thing.
You've made a ton of money throughout your career, but
Yeah.
are you happy today?
Oh, I'm the happiest I've ever been in my whole life.
How old are you?
I'm 56.
You're really happy?
Yeah, I've been married to the same woman for 22 years. I have 4 kids.
How long have you been faithful?
Well, that's funny you say that. When I married her, I told her, this is a really interesting story. I said, I can't be faithful. And she's like, what the hell? I go, I can't be. But if you're with me on the journey, we can do everything together. But ultimately, over time, I just dug her so much, and she's such a great human being that I became massively only thinking about her. And so I'm completely faithful, which is crazy, but
And you're the happiest you've ever been.
the happiest I've ever been.
Have you ever been broke before?
Oh my God, dude. I literally had to borrow, when I was married to my wife with 4 kids, had to borrow $200 from my mom, was $13 million in debt, had no money, and paid it all back.
No, you did not.
Yeah.
When you were negative $13 million in debt, what were you telling yourself?
I was depressed, and I have a mentor named Steve Caspi, who's one of the richest developers in New York City, and he stuck with me even when I lost the money he gave me, and he made it all back tenfold. But you need to have people that you can network with. I read a book when I was young called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and people don't read it today, but if they read it, they understand that you can network with people that, and this is going to sound a little crazy, but you've got to put yourself in a position to understand what others would do that have made it and get the best advice, even if they're not around. Read about it. I do a ton of reading. I read so many books, people would just, their head would spin, but I probably consume 50 books a year.
Do you actually?
Yeah, oh yeah.
What is your #1 book recommendation for anybody in business?
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, The Road Less Traveled, which is a psychological book by M. Scott Peck. If you're not God-fearing, like I'm a God-fearing guy.
You believe in God?
Oh, for sure I do. I absolutely know that God exists.
How? How do you know that?
Because I effectively believe that everything that's put in front of you is for a reason, and you have to learn how to pay attention to the reason. So I don't believe in God in the sense of organized religion. I believe that there's some greater scheme for you, and you're getting the message the whole time, but are you really paying attention to it? Are you really being honest with what you're being told? My failures have only led to my success. Those failures happened for a reason, and if you look at it that way, it's easier to deal with. But I completely believe in God.
How old are you now?
56.
If me and you died tomorrow and you had one more message to leave with the younger generation, what would that be?
Oh, wow. You ask good questions. You want to go as fast as you can, but you also want to take your time. None of these things you see like on the social network and all these things where the person started in their dorm room and suddenly they were a billionaire, that doesn't exist. It's not real.
It's a long game.
It's Hollywood. I've been doing this literally 36 years, since I was 20. I think all my failures were lessons that I was doing it wrong and I needed to pay attention. But I never quit. That's one thing I'll tell you is, my wife will say this, I never give up. Never. Never, never. You're going to have to kill me. And then even then, I have a legacy. I have kids.
I love that, man. You got amazing advice, sir.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for your time, and I connect with all the millionaires and billionaires that interview. Could I get your contact?
Oh yeah, for sure.
that
Yeah,
cool?
absolutely, yes.
Guys, that's a wrap on today's video, man. I need you guys to like and subscribe for amazing content coming every week to the School of Hard Knocks, man. We just interviewed 4 billionaires in one video. So like and subscribe, like I said, and go down right now to the link in the description of this video, because you can get access to the #1 most powerful entrepreneur community and network in the entire world called the School of Mentors, where every single week you can hop on live calls and get mentored directly from the millionaires and billionaires that I interview on this channel. So I can't wait to see you on the inside. That being said, I'll see you in the next episode.